Last time on Just Create, we finally finished our first factory and stocked our power supplies shop. We wriggled our way out of going to court and started terraforming this area over here. In fact, I'll jump into free cam so you can see it a little bit better. But this is going to be the site of our mega base. Now, firstly, is it actually a mega base? The real question is, does a mega base have to all be one building, or is a huge interconnected collection of factories, storage, transport networks, and more also considered a mega base? Or is that just a great big industrial area? I don't know, but that's what we're doing, so I'm going to call it a mega base. Feel free to debate that in the comments. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on what you think constitutes a mega base. And in other good news, following the love for the posters in the last episode, I'm in the process of making them available in a new limited time merch run, and a lot of people have been asking for displate versions of the posters as well, so I'm looking into that too. So if you're interested in getting your hands on some of those, then do keep an eye over here and on the Discord. Now, on with the day's tasks. So firstly, we have made a good start on the terraforming outside, and between episodes I've actually tidied up a little bit more, just patching up holes and things like that, but the coastline still needs a lot of work. And we've still got a very long way to go to getting this looking perfect, but it's certainly a good start. And thankfully getting it looking perfect isn't something that we plan on doing today. It's something we'll do gradually over time as we add the factories and build them in, so we'll aim to complete just sort of small areas at a time. And that includes the coastline too. We'll just do it in small chunks, otherwise you're going to have weeks and weeks of just me terraforming. That being said, we've definitely got some planning to do over here, starting with the roads, but I do want to mark out a few factory sites. I want to work out the sort of station platform layout over the back there, and just generally get a plan together of how we're going to move things around this area, get them over to the train platform, and ultimately ship them back to spawn. But yeah, I think planning out some roads where a few of the big factory buildings are going to go, that could be quite good. And on looking at our power consumption, we don't have a lot of power remaining, so I think we're going to need to do something about that today as well. But first, let's plan some roads, and that means I need to go get myself some deep slate. Whoa, that's close. Now, roads. How are we going to do this? Obviously, there's a few places where I'm definitely going to be putting in roads. I've already kind of marked out where that is, but I don't really know what factories we're going to be putting in here. That's just going to evolve over time as we're playing. But as long as we leave some big patches and some smaller patches for different sized factories, I think we can get away with just putting in some roads now and working around those. And then, of course, we do need to stretch a road over here somewhere, which means we are going to need another bridge, or we need to make this a super wide bridge, and I don't think I want to do that. So firstly, we're definitely going to need a road in front of this factory, and the question is, how wide do we want the roads? In fact, how wide is this slope? Because this will kind of dictate it, I guess. That's an angled slope. That makes it awkward. How wide is this slope? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is quite a wide road. So if we think about this, we're probably going to have a footpath as well. So this isn't all going to be roads. So let's say 3 wide for the footpath. That means the roads are going to be 9 wide. That's kind of 4 on each side, a bit in the middle. I think that's going to be wide enough. But let's not worry about the width just yet. Let's plan a route. So this road, I think what I'm actually going to do is run it along the edge here, and then maybe head this way, because we do, of course, need a road in front of this factory, or at least a way to get into this bit. So if we were to have a road like that, then that gives us a nice big space for a factory here. And maybe even a small little side road down here as well, because then we can just turn this bit here into a small car park. It's a bit of an awkward space. And this road will carry on this way, and it needs to connect up with the road that comes up this slope here. And in fact, this is going to need to continue all along this edge, because we've got another slope over there that we need to go up. So something like that for this piece of road, which gives us space for another big factory over here. Some smaller bits on this side will just connect up this road. I think what we're actually going to do is go diagonally with this road here, so it connects to the front, which gives us some interesting shapes for factories down here and buildings and things like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. And the rest of this, I don't really have much of a plan for, so let's just get some blocks down and see where we end up. So, something like that, I think. So this bit will come down here and swing round, and then we're going to have a bridge that goes across at an angle this way, I think. Just so I haven't got 2 straight bridges right next to each other. And then we're going to have a rail crossing over here to get onto this side, and yet just a big sweeping curving road, and then we can have buildings and car parks and things on this side. The thing with the bridge over here, though, is that level there is about 3 blocks higher than this level here. So although it's a diagonal bridge, we don't also want it going up a slope, so we'll just bring that across straight, and then we'll have a slope on this side that then brings it up. And I don't know exactly where that slope's going to end up, but in theory that means we could then have a road over here somewhere that then leads off to our storage and our warehouse and all that sort of stuff. So I think as a general road plan that works. Now to spend a bit of time actually putting those roads in. Now, for making roads, I've got a bunch of stuff together. We've got basalt, we've got deep slate, we've got some cut deep slate, and some cobbled deep slate. But I also want some normal basalt. However, I've only got 33 of that. But that means I need to make myself a basalt generator, which means I need soul soil, not soul sand, so I might as well make some of that out of dirt. I need ice, which I don't have any of, but I know exactly where an ice biome is, so that won't be a problem. We're going to need buckets for lava, a bit of glass to protect ourselves. We're going to need a bunch of hoppers, which means I need to make some. We're going to need a bunch of mine carts. And once I get some lava in these buckets, that should be everything we need. Oh, no, tell a lie. I need some rail as well. So let's go to the ice biome, grab some packed ice, and we should be good to go. There we go, just a few bits of packed ice. And so that the basalt generates as quickly as possible, we're going to go to the nether and build this. And we'll do it right over here by the spawn portal. It's only a temporary thing. I mean, I suppose we could leave it here if it works well enough, but that isn't the intention. Right, so let's get this bit built up. Some glass there, glass there. In fact, what I need to do is put glass there and there. Then we're going to feed a hopper minecart into the bottom of each one of these, which basically just speeds up the collection a whole lot. Let's get those blocked in. And let's see if I've remembered how to build this correctly. So we want packed ice on one side. Make a little chamber here. Put lava on this side. And nope, that's not working. Let's try this slightly differently. Maybe the ice needs to be on top. Or does it need to be blue ice, not packed ice, actually? It might be that. Yeah, there we go. Blue ice, not packed ice. I think that's the mistake I made last time as well. But now we should just be able to stand here and get loads of basalt. Although I've built one for use with a beacon, which means you'd be able to get all 5 at once, and we don't have a beacon. So, yeah, I didn't need to make it this big, but at least anyone else can use it, and eventually we can get a beacon up here, and that'll make this nice and fast. But I think it's safe to say I might be here for a moment. I'm just going to put a roof on it, just to make sure that everything does get pushed downwards. 15 minutes later, we've got a box of basalt. That'll do for now. And I've just noticed I've very nearly broke my pick there. Let's quickly fix that up. And I might as well fix up everything else while I'm here. Right, let's go build some roads. And good news, we have actually updated the pack since the last episode. We now have Copycats Plus, which means we've got access to a whole lot more blocks. Although personally, I'm still going to be limiting myself just to the basic ones, such as the stairs and the slabs and things like that. I don't want to overdo it like I did last series and the series before that. So although I will be using them, I'll be using them very sparingly. And in the last pack update, we have also added Create Power Loaders. And these are power loaders that basically rely on stress input to actually work. They're chunk loaders, I should say. And we kind of need those active to be able to make our train stations work. So that's the main reason we've got those. But other than that, we haven't added anything else. It's just those 2 mods. So it's still almost mostly just create. But anyway, right, roads. So I've got my blocks in the hotbar at the desired density because we're going to use the shuffle mod for this, just because otherwise it's going to take me absolutely forever. So we've got 4 cobbled deep slate, 1 basalt, 1 cut deep slate, 1 deep slate, and 1 smooth basalt. And between that, I'm hoping that we'll end up with a fairly good balance of road here. Well, it's not perfect, but it's certainly a good start. It looks a bit like a racetrack at the moment. But we've got our main road in, which is this one here that goes through the storage and cuts through the middle of the base. And we've also got a loop road here as well as the bit that comes over here. I don't really know what we're going to do with that yet. But that means we can have a bridge across here as well as a taller bridge behind it. I think that should make that area look quite cool, especially when we actually sort out the coastline around here. We've got plenty of space for factories, large ones, small ones, and we can divide this up further if we need to with more roads. But we've certainly got a reasonable amount of plots around here. And we may end up doing a little bit more planning today, but for now, there's something else we need to go sort out. And that is power, because if we turn this all on over here, which by the way, I have added an on-off switch for the whole factory, just seemed like a wise thing to do. But yeah, there's only just over 100,000 SU remaining, and this one factory alone uses about 150 or so, which means next time me or anyone else on the power network builds a giant factory, we might be running a little bit low. And initially, I was going to make blaze cakes. We were going to do a blaze cake factory. I thought that would be a good way to boost the power in the power station, but the delivery network's not quite set up yet. We haven't got a way of doing that, and yeah, it's just a lot of effort that basically we're not ready for just yet. So instead of doing that, what we're going to do is actually expand the power station yard itself. So let's go over there and take a look. In fact, we should probably have a nap first. So what I reckon is, instead of upgrading these to level 18 boilers, we'll keep them at level 9. And we've got a bit of space over there, so we'll stick in another little set of boilers. And I guess that means that because we're not going to be putting these up to level 18, at least not anytime soon, we can actually get away with just having 4 pumps down here, which means we can get rid of a whole lot of this. There we go. We'll leave the pumps in. I've just removed the mechanism that was making them spin. Oh, wait a minute. I've removed this one as well. Uh-oh. Let me just put those shafts back in. There we go. So as I was saying, we only actually need 4 pumps because just one of these pumps is enough to keep a level 9 boiler going. So if we go and look at these boilers now, we can see, yep, the water is half full, but it's still a level 9 boiler, which means we're still getting all the stress that we were before. See, our board even says so. And we suddenly have a lot more available. Is that because I don't have my other factory loaded? Probably. Hopefully we didn't break anything when that happened. No, this all still seems powered. Good, good. I'm sure it's fine. Maybe my factory's using more than I thought, but surely not like 250,000. That'd be crazy. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about expanding our power network. First up, we need a foundation. Right, there's a foundation. That should be big enough. Now let's just mark out the building. We won't build the whole thing yet, but if we just mark out where the walls are going to go, it's going to make fitting some steam engines inside a little bit easier. Now, boiler layout. Let me think about this. Ideally, we want to have as few mechanical arms working as possible. So if we were to do maybe a group of 4 boilers here and the same on that side, that's going to give us triple the amount of power. So if we were to do 3 there, the same on that side. So we've got 2 sets of boilers. In fact, we'll bring these a little bit closer together. Then 1 mechanical arm should be able to reach all of those. Let's quickly do a little test. So if we were to put the arm, say, there, for example, can it reach all 4 corners? It can. Excellent. And because we're going to be keeping these at level 9 boilers, not level 18, that means they only need to be 4 high. We can keep things nice and compact down here. And these are probably too close together to put the steam engines there, so I think we're just going to stick them on top. Then we'll just get all of them joined together, all of them joined together. Okay, this is looking like it's going to work. Now we just need to set up the lava system. And I think I've got a fairly simple idea for that. We'll need to connect up the lava underground. And I'm going to need some spouts for this. So we'll have lava being pumped up from underneath. And what I'm thinking is we'll use weighted ejectors here and here with the spouts on top. If we were to have our mechanical arm there, we'll put a depot here, a barrel on top. We'll put a funnel on there to catch the full lava buckets. The full lava buckets will come out here, go onto this thing, and then we want the arm to put them back in here. And then we want this one to take the empty buckets and fling them back over there. So let's get this guy hooked up. We want him to deposit into all of those, deposit into that one, and take from that one. So that should do the trick. Oh, maybe not. I forgot to do these ones here as well, which means I've got to do them all again. So let's start with the lava first. And we've just got to connect up to that pipe over there, so that should be easy enough. Ow! Jeez. There's no need for that. Oh, my life. Anyway, pipes. And there we go. That's the lava going round. Next up, power. Right, we now have power. Let's just rotate this, and then we can take that power over to the chain drive. Not the chain drive, the weighted ejector. That's what I meant. And I think I'm actually going to move these pipes back a little bit. And that's the 2 center ones done as well. Right, so we've got everything powered over here now. I guess next up, I should tackle water. This thing still needs water. I reckon we can probably squeeze the water in back here. And then just feed the water into both tanks from there. That will probably do it, you know? Right, we need buckets. So we want full buckets going in there. We want empty buckets coming out there and going in there. So if I put some empty buckets in there, they should... Oh, if I set that to 1 at least. No? Oh, I see the problem. I need to filter that. Right, yeah, there you go. Oh no, they land on there. Well, that's not what we want. Fine, I guess we'll use belts instead. So let's just run a belt across here. There we go. So maybe this will work. So let's put 3 empty buckets on there. Then it launches those. They go in there. He's powering up the blazes. Oh, I need to power that again. I think if we just have 2 buckets going around, That seems to work quite nicely. Right, let's get this water going. Oh, I've run out of rockets. I've got to run all the way back. Right, that should solve the water problem. Oh, at least it would if these pumps were going in the right direction. There we go. Right, and simple as that, we have a mess. We have a great big mess. Right, get rid of that. But we have now doubled the power output of our power station, although this isn't linked into the system yet. It will be shortly. But I also want to do this on the other side here. And I could take a schematic and do it that way, but to be honest, it's a very simple build, so I'm just going to quickly get it done. But just before we do that, I've noticed Throwlash and Legion V are online, so let's go for some target practice. I need to get better at this. So Throwlash is usually lurking around down here somewhere. I don't see him though. This is all looking very pretty though. Look at the size of that aquarium. Legion doesn't seem to be around anywhere either. Well, hello, what's all this? Ah, this looks like Legion's production line. Uh-oh. Rumbled.
Do you have a plan B?
Hello.
Mr. Beardstone, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, I'm good. I'll just come and say hello, really, see what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm overstressing my oh wait, I mean I'm not making windmills. I'm not making my own power.
What? What? You're making your own power?
No, I said I'm not. I'm definitely not doing that.
Yeah, that didn't sound believable though.
Well, look, I was gonna have to talk to you eventually anyway, because I'm overstressing myself constantly in here.
Oh well, that's no good.
Yeah, and this is the ugly room. Nobody's ever gonna see it, so don't worry about how it looks. But yeah, every single thing I do in here, it just goes overstressed, and I have to keep changing the speed that everything's running.
Oh, that's it. Well, so you're not running at full speed?
No, not even close. I think I'm at 64, and I haven't.
Oh, Legion! No. We can't be having that. Oh my days, that's unbelievable. Well, I mean, I wasn't coming over here for a sales pitch, but it seems like you need some help, Legion, with power.
Yeah. I was hoping to get through. What I'm doing here is I'm hoping to automate golden carrots, so I can set up a shop for that.
Ooh, tasty.
And I was hoping to get all the way through and then think about power, but I'm barely getting through the beginning here, and it's just not working out.
Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm actually in the middle of some power station upgrades at the moment. We are expanding the network. We've got a new marketing campaign as well that you may have seen going around.
I did.
But yeah, I reckon we can get you sorted out if you'd like to be connected up to Beardy Power.
Yeah, well, and that's you're not gonna. Oh, what am I thinking of here? Who is it? Throwlash and Foxy? Are they setting up? They're setting up power like right next to me. It's not gonna start like a turf war or something if I do that, is it?
No, but my power lines go right through the middle of Throwlash's base. It's fine. They don't mind, I'm sure. No, I mean, right. I would imagine they're probably going to try and convert you to their green energy or whatever it is that they're trying to do. But the simple fact of the matter is, we're going to have like 1.5 million SU at our disposal. And if they're going to try and do that in a tiny little tunnel with windmills, they're not even going to get close.
Yeah, well, I ran into that firsthand today with this windmill.
Exactly. Like, you know, there is no competition. There is no competition for Beardy Power.
Yeah. Plus, I have to say, the marketing is working on me. Seeing all of those posters out there, that was probably the first thing I saw when I started recording today, and I was very impressed.
Excellent. The system works. Yeah, did you see the one on Chosen's wall? Yeah,
that was, I was looking out from my base.
Yeah, I knew that was worth it. I had to buy that wall from him.
Did you really?
I did. Totally worth it, though. Totally worth it. Well, I can get you hooked up with power. To be honest, I can probably do it for you today. I'm just expanding the network, tripling our capacity at the moment. But as soon as that's done, I can come over and install power for you.
Yeah, well, it's totally up to you. What I had planned to do was just build everything out. It doesn't really matter the speed. I just need a proof of concept and make sure it all works. And then whenever you get to power, I'll just speed it up. So it doesn't need to be immediate. Just, I'm going to keep working on this anyway.
It will definitely be today. I'll tell you that much. But my question would be, where would you like the interface to be? Because you can have an external one, so it's in like a nice shipping crate, or you can have it hidden away down here somewhere.
Currently the power is coming, I think, over here. This is where I've got the initial hookup from the surface.
Yeah, well, I could put it in this wall here then, if you like.
Oh, actually, yeah. Well, I guess it would probably be easier to start from scratch. I was gonna say I have an empty room. There starts of an empty room here because it was gonna be my elevator until I realized that I would have cut through Foxy's tunnel, so I abandoned this room.
Okay,
But
well,
probably just
I can put it here
start
if you
from
like.
scratch.
If that's a bit of space that's not being used, I can literally just put it in this wall here. Okay, cool. Well, I'll get you installed. There is, of course, no charge for the. There's no installation fee, free installation and setup, and you'll also get the first stack of power absolutely free.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
No. That's what I've done for everyone else. It'd be rude not to do the same for you, Legion. And when you need to top up power tokens, we've got the power shop in town where you can also buy anything you need to make your own power as well, just as a side note. Or you can go to the power station, or there's a little stall at the train station. They're all the same price.
Okay, perfect.
And I guarantee the price of the tokens will never go up. They're always 1 token for 64 tokens for a diamond.
Oh, and they always do the exact same thing, huh?
At
Same
the moment,
amount of
yeah.
time always?
Yeah, they currently run for each token lasts for 40 minutes. So
Okay.
a diamond would give you almost 2 days of power if you left it running constantly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, cheap
Well,
as
that
anything.
sounds fantastic.
Yep,
Yeah.
cheap, reliable. I would say clean energy, but well, you've seen my chimneys. They're not clean. Well, I went over there to try and attack him with a mace and ended up selling him power. I can't attack him now. That would just be rude. And I never did find Throwlash. But I am pleased we managed to swoop in there and steal that client that was probably almost definitely going to be a client of Foxy and Throw before I went over there. Right, now, where were we? Oh, yes, another one of these over here. And there we go. We've now mirrored that on the other side and connected them both together. So if we now connect this chain drive over to here for now. Oh, it's spinning in the wrong direction. Not to worry. If we just do this, then we can get it in the center. It should now be spinning the right way. Nope. Tell you what, there might actually be an easier way. So I think the reason we're having trouble connecting over here is because they're going different speeds. So this one over here, if we go check, I believe is going 16. In fact, there's no speed controllers here whatsoever. So why can't they connect if they're going the same speed? Looks like I've got some testing to do. Right, okay, I think I've managed to do it now. Oh, I fell off. But it's fairly simple. I'm just taking the rotation from there, and then I'm using a couple of cogs, and that seems to invert it the right way round and keep the speed the same. I don't know. Still not really sure why that didn't work with the gearbox, but whatever. The important thing now is if we go over here, we should have a whole lot more power available to us. Oh yes, look at that, 1.5 million. In fact, the capacity is 1.8. Amazing. We're not running out of power anytime soon. Now what I need to do is make it look good. I need to wrap a building around this thing. And we also need to get Legion set up with power. In fact, maybe we should do that before we do the building, just so he's got everything he needs and he can see what excellent service Beardy Power Co provides, or something like that. Now, because we're putting Legion's power meter on the inside, what I should probably do is grab a schematic of either Eggs or Foxy's. Eggs is probably easier to get to. So let's grab the schematic of all of this. And that looks like we've got everything we need. So let's save that as a new schematic and go get what we need. We'll have this done in no time. So first up, schematic. Dump that there. Put the schematic in here with a clipboard, and that'll tell us everything we need to get. You know the drill. So if we give this clipboard to this guy, and we'll chuck all of that into here, and see what we're missing. Nothing major. Right, let's get this together. We should now have everything we need to get this built, so let's just go in, I think it was in here, and then down the back somewhere. Yes, in here. Let's just open up a little bit more space. So I've got that all lined up where it needs to be. Let's just set up our cannon and blast it into existence. The meter is now in, and I think I've got everything set up correctly. I've relinked these bits. I've changed the redstone links so they don't interfere with other people's. What I need to do now is just bring some power over here. The question is, where is the closest source of my power? It may well be the things over here, or potentially Chosen's one over here, actually. Think I'm going to need a whole lot of shafts. And there we go. That should be Legion hooked up. So we can see it going through there. Excellent. Just need to actually put in some connection points now, and I think we're going to do that above. That should be easy enough. We can just do that. Hopefully, if we now put these in and press the button, we should get power. All right, there we go. Legion is all set up. We've done the usual and given them a stack of tokens to get started with. And I've even color-coded the SU so they can see there's 1.5 million currently available, which is many. And all that power is going to last us a good long while, so I'm happy to wrap a building around this, and hopefully we won't need to expand the power station anymore. But if we do, we've still got space elsewhere, I suppose. For now, let's get this looking good. And there we go. I think that's looking pretty good. The extra bit to the power station is now done. Well, I could do with putting some lights on the inside. Oh, Stam just joined. I need to talk to him. Let's just make these lanterns. Quickly spam a few of these down for now, just so we don't have any incidents. And then let's go and bother Stam. We'll put them in properly in a moment. Now, where is he? Let's assume he's over here somewhere, shall we?
There we go. Much better. A lot more organized, symmetrical, and detailed than before. It's looking pretty good, actually.
Stam? What is
Yeah?
this mess?
Oh, it's my very symmetrical, organized warehouse.
This is like conveyor belt spaghetti. I feel like there was a more straightforward way, Stam.
Yeah, no, this was the only way to do this. This is the most efficient way to do
The
this.
only and most efficient way to do whatever this is was this.
Yes.
Right.
You
Okay.
sure there was definitely not any other way to do it.
Right. Right. Well, I was actually just coming over to see how you were getting on with the delivery system. Is that
I'm
what
getting
this
along.
is? Is that what this
Oh,
is?
yeah. Yep. It's pretty much done. I basically just need to hook in the input from the trains, which is coming from up there. And well, then we can all claim a vault.
That's awesome. That's awesome because
And actually,
yeah, I could do with
need to
auto
speak to you.
stocking things. Yes, speak to me about what, sir?
Power to the warehouse.
Power to the warehouse.
Yep. The warehouse needs power.
Well, it's a community building, I suppose. Fine, grab it
Very
from over
much
there.
is. Yep.
Yeah, just hook up from over there.
All right, we'll do. While I have you, do you want to claim a post box?
I do want to claim a postbox, Stam. Yes, that is something I definitely
Okay.
want to do. Oh, I like this with the pipes and the display board. That's cool. But can I just have mine here so that if I have to troubleshoot it, I can access it easier?
Yeah, the most straight one. I mean, the least optimal one.
I mean, this one looks like it just comes from this vault here. Surely.
Yeah, that's why it's the least optimal one. It's the
That's the most optimal, surely.
No. Okay, well,
It's
pick
the
a
most
color, Beardy.
optimized.
Yeah, we can argue about this all day, but no.
I think I will. I wish to.
Well, I wish not to. Pick a
Oh,
color.
okay. Lime green. Trees. When are you doing custom trees? I really want some trees. I'm gonna have to steal them at this rate.
I can set them up next week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You said something similar 2 months ago.
Yeah, but next week.
Mm-hmm.
See you then. Have a
Okay,
good one.
cool. So if there's no trees by the end of next week, then I can just go steal them and take my own schematics. Got it. Thanks. Cheers. Bye. Well, we'll get trees one way or another. And it looks like the rail yard is coming along, even if it does look like a spaghetti mess in there. He clearly seems to know what he's doing. So hopefully fairly soon, we'll actually be able to send stuff to the shopping district automagically. That'll be marvellous. But I'd say we're just about done here. We've tripled our amount of power. We've done a little bit of planning over at the base. And we've even got a new customer. What a good day. See you on the next one. Bye-bye now.